So I have a video that is sort of, is talking about the idea of how a lot of these artists on the internet look the exact same.
Look at me. We could be twins, no?
Why does a lot of these artists sort of have the same sort of idea or interpretation of a character or sort of a scene? And one of the biggest things that I sort of really was sort of kind of frustrated looking and searching around online was the idea that a lot of these artists will sort of do videos on how you can find your voice or style, and they tell you how you can do that now. And for me, it was really interesting and frustrating just to see that happen, especially when there's just so many artists now that just have almost the same look, and I can't even tell whose work is who. So if you have work out there and you threw it into sort of this pool of other artists, I can't tell the difference between a lot of that person's work and another person's work. There are some that are truly unique, but a lot of them really are the same. And it got me sort of really thinking about sort of why a lot of them are the same. And for me, because the creative process that we go through as artists is basically, we mirror people. We have sort of this explorative phase where after we mirror and copy people, we explore outside of ourselves and sort of remix ideas, and then we go to the next phase in terms of refining that idea that we have and sort of with new experiences. But during the stage after mirroring people and copying sort of like our influences, you get to that explorative phase, you really have to sort of dig deep in your background, and a lot of people don't do that. It seems like a lot of artists really just stick to sort of tweaking sort of what they were copying in the beginning stages. And they're too scared to sort of go outside of themselves and experiment and explore, because a lot of times it takes a lot of failure, or the idea of failures, things that really don't sort of come out the way we want them to. And we just cherry pick the things that we sort of like about that failure and learned about it, and then we leave some of the rest. And a lot of artists are too afraid to do that because we're sort of online all the time, digital. You want those likes, you want those views, you want people to say your work is dope. So it's very hard for artists to sort of take that leap, take that chance, and sort of do work that sort of is not always in the public eye and seen as great or successful. So a lot of artists do not do that. And not only that, it is coupled with the idea of when we're sort of in the phase of refining our work and sort of developing our work, evolving it, we're supposed to be going out there into the world and getting new experiences and seeing new things outside of your own environment and community, and getting outside of your comfort zone and bringing that into the creative space to help you develop your work and process. And a lot of artists don't do that. A lot of artists substitute travel, so like actually physically traveling to a new city, a new country, and immersing yourself into a whole new environment so that you're sort of challenging yourself. You're sort of doing that through Pinterest and Instagram and DeviantArt and YouTube and all these other websites where it's like you can sort of cherry pick what you like virtually from the comfort of your home or creative space or studio, and you don't really challenge yourself. So that is what I see online when it comes to a lot of artists that are really out there, and they're sort of making work, and it just seems like a lot of the work just looks the exact same, and there's really no one out there sort of really saying, hey, this is actually a problem. This is actually something where where we have to sort of sometimes at some point say something about it. So I just wanted to really sort of dive into that and sort of really sort of talk about the idea that there's just really not a lot of diversity in some areas of art. that you kind of see because of the lack of challenging themselves from artists, and a lack of sort of being able to go out there and learn new things and sort of bring that back into the studio space. There seems to be a real big disconnect in terms of how we sort of gain new experiences and influences to refine our work. So really, I just wanted to sort of say that, to get that out there, because it's been on my mind all the time when I go through sort of these websites and sort of YouTube and see artists, you know, almost making art that is indistinguishable. There's no real signature that they have. There's no real sort of impact that it has, because, you know, it seems like it's so saturated, it's so watered down, it's sort of ubiquitous. It's like I can see this in any other artist's work online. So I had to really sort of say that and say, hey, you have to challenge yourself. You have to get outside your comfort zone and figure out, you know, how to sort of mix it up as much as you can. Not everything will be successful. Not everything will, you know, get the likes that you want, or sort of, you know, be sort of that really amazing work that people just love. Sometimes you have to dig through dirt to really get to what you want to. So I just wanted to say that, and say, you know, to say it because, you know, if you don't say it, you know, this will continue to go on. And I really wanted to make sure that artists sort of trying to find their voice, trying to find exactly who they are, they don't get stuck in sort of the phase of, you know, copying other artists and sort of just like not challenging themselves. So hopefully this video sort of helped you out a little bit, but it was just a little bit of me just ranting and just like trying to just, you know, say something that's been on my mind for a while. So if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will do more videos like this. Peace.